ranking all of the Sony Marvel Spider-Man movies from worst to best, so let's get started. Coming in at last place is Morbius. It's Morbin time, baby! Unfortunately, there is a severe lack of Morbin time in this film. The only enjoyable performance was delivered by the guy that plays Milo, the villain, who's also in the House of the Dragon. Excellent performance there, but he was having fun. He was just being a goofball. Have sex!
Have sex! Excel! Put my hands against.
Other than that, Jared Leto looked like he did not want to be there. I understand he was going for a serious tone character, but the writing was so crap and dull, and the CGI, god awful. It was just an absolute bore fest to watch this. You couldn't even laugh at how bad it was. All you could do was laugh at the memes, and Sony thought the memes were so good, they re-released this into the cinemas. So well done for trolling Sony, guys. Everyone on the internet who was a part of it, well done, commendment to you. Moving on to number 5, Madam Web. Dakota Johnson fired her agent because she saw the trailer reveal for this and thought,
what the hell?
This is not an MCU Marvel project. I was duped. Shit. And so was the audience. This was so poorly edited, and the writing for this was god awful, and it was why this isn't last on the list, because it actually technically, I would say, is worse than Morbius in some way, because it's just chaotically bad, but it made me laugh so much. I was laughing through this entirety of this film because nothing made sense. Everything was just set on a whim. And yep, Pepsi. God, I love a good Pepsi. Craving after watching Madam Web. But yeah, just an absolute shocking performance. And we've got a pretty good lineup of side characters with Sydney Sweeney. Despite the posters showing them in their Spider-Woman costumes, we don't get to see any of that in this film. We get to see one flashback of them just murdering Ezekiel. I think that's the name of the villain. Terrible as well, my god, because that's how heroes work. They just murder the villain. The right thing. Number 4, Kraven the Hunter. If you haven't seen my review, I talk about the best and worst aspects of that film, so go check that out, but let's talk about them briefly here. The best, the action. It was gritty. They had an R rating, so they were able to do a lot of good stuff in this, which was great to see. Russell Crowe, really good as well. I thought his accent was a lot better than Les Mis, a lot better, and I thought it was a pretty enjoyable performance. I think he did pretty well. Other than that, everything in between all these action sequences is just boring, man. It is a slog. The writing is just dumb, and like this, oh my god, some of the scenes that happen, they literally, a character's given something, and then they just go off and just do the thing they were supposed to do, and I was like, okay, so she's just right there. Oh my god. Yeah, it doesn't have much to hold on to, but it has little bits, so it has more than Madam Web and Morbius, and I couldn't say it's worse than those, but it's still bad. Number 3, Venom: The Last Dance. Like, this film has good things going for it. Tom Hardy does a pretty funny portrayal, and the Venom character, the dynamic between the two was kind of fun, goofy. This one's just a goof ride all the way home. It just has jokes and zingers. The plot, again, makes zero sense. If you try and make sense of anything, I think your brain will just explode. And it goes for an hour and a half too, so that's why it's kind of more enjoyable than Kraven the Hunter, because this didn't feel like 3 hours. It did feel like an hour and a half, even though, like, you get to the end and you're just like, oh, yep, that was a meh film. But that's pretty much sums up a lot of these Sony Marvel Spider-Man movies. Like, they're all just meh. None of them are great, which makes this ranking so hard to do. Coming in at number 2, the original Venom with Tom Hardy. I've shit on this film pretty hard, but rewatching it, it wasn't bad. It was a fine origin. The dynamic between Venom and Eddie, this is probably the most serious tone as well, so I appreciate that. And we get a CGI battle at the end, because, yeah, we've got to have the CGI battle, but it has enough in this film to make me go, yeah, this is average. Still, it's just not the Venom character, and it doesn't have the R rating like Kraven did. And if it had that, I feel like this film could have been a lot better. It would have had that really brutal action elements to it as well. But yeah, we get to see a bit of Venom in this, and it's a bit of fun. So yeah, harmless, but just meh. Number 1, Venom: Let There Be Carnage. This is the best Sony Marvel Spider-Man movie. Oh my god. And does it mean it's a good movie? Not really. It's average at best. Oh my god. How bad is that? All of these 6 films go from shit to average. That is saying something bad. But what's good about this film? Woody Harrelson, Tom Hardy, they're having fun in the role. Venom and Carnage, it's great to see them on screen. They have a fight. I thought the fight was quite interesting. Andy Serkis directed this one too, and you can tell he really wanted to make these CGI fights like most enjoyable as they could be, considering they're all CGI. But other than that, it was just a bit of a boring thing, and Woody Harrelson has a love interest, and that just goes like, this is boring, eye-rolling, because it's just a plot. She's just a plot device, because she can scream, and that upsets the symbiotes in the final battle. All you're doing is waiting till the end fight scene, and you're enjoying the silly moments up until then, but not really. Like, it's still an average movie at best. That's my ranking of all the Sony Spider-Man universe movies, but what's your ranking for these ones? Do you think these need to be shuffled around a lot? Like, put your top 6 down below, or give me your top 3, I don't care, but be sure to like, share, subscribe, and all that rubbish. I'll see you all on the next video. Mwah.